to the podcast, hablemos de lo nuevo. For the G's, by the G's, que pasa en el terreno. Vienen jugadores y se van, traiga lo nuevo, a huevo. Doesn't matter where you from, Salvador, Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua. Todo mi latino, come and listen for an hour. TikTok, que traemos lo que quiere, todo lo que pasa dentro y fuera de las redes. Really? You don't know what it is. Reportamos con la lupa what we see at the digs. En las buenas y en las malas yo diré la verdad. Si cometen un error o tienen habilidad, la calidad del rival cuando viene a jugar. Facts. Yo no me muerdo la lengua. Got love for the crest in the city I came from. Los campeones de campeones y con copas mi race. No empezamos el programa, soy la voz de LA One. Soy la voz de LA One. Love. Yeah.
Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, and man, are we feeling good, LA Galaxy fans, La Cuna Galaxians, wherever you are, and I hope you are having a great time, and I hope you are enjoying this win. I'm Rob Halone, one of your co-hosts as always, and you can find my written work at Last Word on Sports, and you can find me on the socials at El Escudero de LA. Today, we're going to have a live reaction of the Galaxy's first away game of the season, a comprehensive 3-1 dismantling and destruction of their northern rivals, the San Jose Earthquakes, on Saturday, March 2nd, in the 84th edition of the Cali Clasico. But before we talk about those good times, let me go ahead and bring back to you my co-host, the one and only, the ride or die G and homie, El Gitano Perdido, Ananda Kirana. Papa, you know what it is. How you feeling?
Feeling awesome, man. Shoot, like this is Galaxy 20. You know what? Hammer got it right. Hashtag Galaxy 2024. We're here, Robert. This is the year. Things are looking good. Everything is looking good in Galaxy Landia, like you always say. But man, we're all feeling good, right? Just what a difference a year makes. And I can't wait to talk about this game because there was just so many things, so many positives to take away. Not only just like this question, like, are we back? It's not even just that, man. It's just the performances, like the types of shifts that we're putting in. I mean, this is good. This is good stuff right here. This is sustainable. So I'm looking forward to recapping this one with you, man. This little La Cunita, you know how we always do the match reactions and stuff. But before I send it back to you though, real quick, I don't know if you guys noticed peeps in the chat. So I am working on my little studio here. It's still under construction. It's still a little bare, but I did want to shout out a couple things, Robert. So if you guys can see over to, well, that right there, that would be my right, your left. Shout out to Godino Art. Those are a couple of his pieces. So I did want to shout you out, man. Those are some great pieces. There's a Jalen one there, and there's a Beckham one down there. Obviously, two of my favorite cats that are on the team, current, past, and present, of course. And then shout out to my wife's cousin, who I don't know if you can't really say it because it's the dark jersey, but he did grace me with his signature, the last CVI. And as I keep telling you guys, man, CVI is a great place if you guys want to get up close and personal with the players. Next year, you have your chance, but I did warn you. And it is a great time to, well, for me, like it was a great time for me to be a fanboy for once, right? So that was really nice. So, yeah, man, just wanted to shout those things out real quick. How you feeling, Papa? I know you were in San Jose, so you're feeling a little tired. I don't know if you're a little tired from the trip, but
nah, man, the energy's got me up, bro.
Exactly.
Nah, the energy's got me up. But you know what? You didn't do your thing, and we can't go on before. We can't go on before you do your thing. Like you know, man. You know that's like the jump start right there.
I know that's a jump start. Cool. So I'm gonna do a little housekeeping first, and then I'll do my thing. So you guys can always follow, block me, or stalk me at Ananda Galaxiana.
Stalk him.
By the way, Hector, what's up, man? Just saying.
What's going on?
You guys can always follow or block me, stalk me there. You guys can always find us at La Cuna Galaxiana on all your socials. And now we are on video and audio as well. And before I forget, guys, again, we are trying to grow this YouTube. So before we get too far into this, before we forget, I just want to remind you guys to smash the likes up, as they would say, but go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this video as much as possible. Again, we're just trying to grow this YouTube thing. So that would be much appreciated. And of course, Roberto, como siempre, antes de olvidarme, buenos días, tardes o noches y bienvenido a otro capítulo de La Cunita Galaxiana, en
Yeah.
este caso. And yeah, let's do this reaction, man. We got a few people in the chat, so it'll be fun also reacting to this match live with the peeps in chat.
Yeah, well, and Ananda, like you already mentioned, subscribe, you hit us up on the socials and stuff like that. But the benefit of subscribing is that you'll know when the next pod is up. You'll know when we have guests on. Like we were able to have Preston on recently and Fernando Fiore, el presidente. And you know what? We are going to bring you a full match preview episode for that Nashville match. I think that'll be what, Wednesday at 7, Ananda, and so. So look out for that one. And of course, I was going to ask, geez, what city you repping? But Big Heck out there is already shouting out the IE. So you IEGs, what's up? The 909, 951 represent. I know that they were all together earlier for the match, and we'll go ahead and shout them out properly here in a moment. But yeah, man, geez, wherever you're at, go ahead and let us know where you're repping from. Like Ananda said, I was in San Jose, repping Glendale in San Jose, and now I'm back in Glendale. Quick turnaround, so wanted to give you guys an update, some good news and some bad news, as life likes to give you. So I do have a Steffi update. For those of you guys not in the know, my sister-in-law Stephanie, she was battling cancer. She had successful surgery. So she's been recovering well. But here's the bad part: is now she goes into that radiation iodine therapy, which I had never really heard of. But yeah, I mean, she's going to be getting those, radiation rays at her, and I don't think she's going to turn to the Hulk. So she does need your support, your good vibes. We do have a GoFundMe going for her, so if you're so inclined, go ahead and support that way, and definitely, if you guys can, be so kind to go ahead and spread the word. But you know what, we're shouting out Steffi and giving her a lot of love and support. Kunis, we love you. Quito represent, and they've been watching the pod regularly, so Quito represent as well. Edward is representing from Riverside. Big shout out, thank you, Edward. So we have a bunch of stuff to get through and shout out, Ananda, for La Cunita. Normally for like the longer pods, I like to go ham on the shout out. I like the community to know what's going on and stay connected. But so we have a little bit more than normal today, which if you guys you guys don't know Ananda on when we're getting ready for a pod, he's like, well, I'm gonna time cop you. Well, today I have more than normal, so he might time cop me, but I'm going to try to get through them all. I've said this one before. Absolution Brew will be hosting a photo and art gallery featuring members of the G community on 310. We've already, mentioned that Grady Mayo's been on this show, and he'll be out there. Go ahead and support so many good artists in this community, so go ahead and go out and check that out on 310. They'll be having a pop-up shop as well. That'll be put on by 12 Threads. And speaking of the Ñaños from 12 Threads, they are putting together their 7th blue, white, and gold pop-up. That'll be returning to Common Space LA on April 14th from 12 to 6. They'll be posting that full vendor lineup pretty soon. 12 Threads, I mean, of course, these cats are always putting together these kinds of events. So go ahead and make sure and get out there and support. Here's a big shout out to Miss Yellow, who's going to be throwing an art and punk show along with some friends. That'll be on March 23rd. That's an art and music fundraiser show for the Creative Center there. I think it's the what is the AACA? The sorry, I'm drawing a blank here on this one. We'll go ahead and fact check that one and come back to that. But Miss Yellow helps out here at this Creative Center. They're putting together this benefit show, so go ahead and support that. That'll be on March 23rd from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. That'll be $5. They'll have some punk bands there, some art, some live painting, tattoos, and of course some vendors. 100% of the proceeds will be going back to this charitable foundation, the Creative Center. So go ahead and get out there and support the youth. Citadel Outlets, which is one of my wifey's favorite places on earth. They have a sale going on at the Adidas right now. The City of Dreams and the Green Away kit are on sale, 50% off right now. Shout out to Leslie for going ahead and letting the G community know about this one. And so go out there and get your kit. I mean, the new Angelino kit came out, so that means you can go ahead and copy a replacement probably by this point. City of Dreams kit. So, Ananda did mention that I was in San Jose, and I did mention it was a quick turnaround, and I got home safe and sound, and it's all thanks to two incredible G's out there, Edwin and Astrid. We met at the CVI. Ananda, you were touting how the CVI was, a great place to meet players and stuff like that. Well, I met some really, really amazing G's out there at the CVI, Astrid and Edwin, and we just got to talking that day, and they were like, well, we're going to San Jose, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, and he's like, yeah, catch a ride. And I was like, oh yeah. And I was joking around with him, like, yeah, I might catch a ride, man. And we just, kind of like mentioned at that time when we kept in touch, and I was like, yeah, man, I might take you up on that. And he was totally down. And man, it's one of those things where, we didn't know each other at all. I even joked with him and like, hey, I could have been a psycho, and Ananda's like, you are a psycho fool. But anyway, psycho in a good way, I mean. But again, Ananda, we just met through the CVI and through like being in the Galaxy community. Shout out to Matthew and comments for actually making that one happen, because he gave a ride to Edwin and Astrid to the CVI, and then that's how we met. But man, the experience is beautiful. Like, we talked about everything under the sun, and within an hour or two, like, I felt like we had known each other for years, right? And then I got to meet his brother and his brother's family when we were up there in San Jose at the meetup center at O'Flaherty's. And yeah, man, it's amazing how quickly this G's community comes together. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy that I got to meet them. Shout out to you guys. You guys were the defending the badge winners for me this week. And King Darwin is right on the money. Galaxy community is for sure an amazing community to be a part of. It really is. I mean, like, they had no reason to be like, yeah, come in our car. And they were super nice about everything. Like, I mean, Edwin was like, you know what? This isn't a big thing, man. We were going to go to the game anyway. Like, it was nothing to have you come with us. And I was like, in my head, I was like, nah, man, it's everything, because they didn't have to come to Glendale and pick me up. They didn't have to, go drop me off at my hotel. I mean, again, the community's unmatched, and that's why I'm happy that I get to work in and around this team. So shout out to them, Edwin and Astrid. G's for life. One's a G, all's a G, and you're definitely a part of my family now. So shout out to you guys and your family. And shout out to all the supporters that got together at all the watch parties this weekend. I mean, there was watch parties everywhere going on. I mean, from Corona to Bakersfield to Van Nuys. I mean, I know I mentioned the IE boys, the IEGs, they had a viewing party as well. They got together, and so it's amazing that all these people are getting together right now, sharing in like this big belief in the Galaxy and what they're trying to do at the moment. Hector, we agree, man. Passion live for the club, man. It's the one thing we all have in common, and I'll talk a little bit about this a little bit later as well. That passion is what brings us all together. So I did mention that we've mentioned Heck a couple times tonight. So want to go ahead and give an official invite to any IEGs or any Gs in general that they're going to be having a Nashville watch party next weekend at Common Ground, which is where they had their watch party yesterday. So go ahead and link up with them if you're in the IE. Even if you're not in the IE, I mean, like, it's worth the drive just to connect with that community. Like I said, Edwin had no reason to come out to Glendale. He made the drive, and now I'm probably gonna be like having Edwin in my life for the rest of my life, because just like a random occurrence, and I came up on a lifelong friend. So go out and check out this community watch parties. Make sure you're connecting with the family, and shout out to the IE again. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If you guys like hockey at all, the LA Kings does a LA Galaxy I guess like combo night, like a collaboration night every year. I've been pretty much every year, except I don't think I went last year, but I've been every year, and it's a lot of fun every year. I mean, people, bring out the LA Galaxy chants, and they're shouting for the Kings, and it's a ton of fun. Well, anyway, this year's is going to be on March 20th. Go ahead and hit up the Kings website for more information on how you can purchase tickets. Everybody that buys a ticket through the Kings like special promotions site gets a 50-50 scarf. So, I guess you can go ahead and just buy a ticket online like Game Time or StubHub or whatever, but then you're missing out on the 50-50. So go ahead and, check out the Kings website, and you can go ahead and get the ticket and the 50-50 scarf. Yes or no?
Hey, real quick though, to King Darwin, I know you weren't there. I mean, you were at the stadium, Robert, so you can hear the chants like live in real time. But it's crazy how the Apple TV. I mean, we'll talk about this later, guys. But I just wanted to shout that out because I also heard the Galaxy chants over the San Jose ones, and oh my god, it was a beautiful, not sight, it was a beautiful sound to hear, I guess.
It was interesting because I was spending my time between the press box and going up, to the stands and like taking video of the G's that were out there, and then also going down to like field level and taking pictures down there. Not like field level on the field, but like San Jose has like that big bar and they have like standing area right there, so standing like right there, and there's a Galaxy chant that they love to bring out when they play San Jose, and I'm just gonna start it, and it's San Jose, so fill in the blank, and it was hilarious because right next to me there was like an older white couple, and they were like, "What are they saying?" And they turned around to like this Hispanic guy, this Latino cat, and they were like, "Do you know what they're saying?" And the guy just laughed, and they're like, "You don't want." He's like, "You guys don't want to know. You guys don't want to know."
No
But
importa.
yes, yeah, we could hear you loud and in charge up there. I'm not gonna lie, like when I was in the press box, it was kind of hard to, differentiate like levels of noise and stuff like that. But when I was there, it was rowdy, it was rambunctious, and I loved it. So
well, let's talk about it, man. I know the people here they're excited to react to this as much as we are. So let's get into it, man.
well, I have one more for you, one more. And I don't even know. I don't even know if you caught it when we were talking backstage, but I do got to give a shout out to Michelangelo. He's a videographer for the team, right? And he was up there, and doing the setting up for the post game presser with Greg and the players, stuff like that. And he had this skate deck, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got gifted this skate deck," and I was like, "Oh, that's so clean, man! Like that's a definite come up. That's a keepsake." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh yeah, man, that's a definite keepsake. Like you got blessed." And he's like, "Well, now I'm blessing you." And he gave it to me, dude. And I was like, "Nah, come on, man, like for real." And he's like, "Yeah, man, like it's yours now." So yeah, I'm really happy to get that keepsake here in my box of trinkets. And so shout out to Michelangelo. My favorite Ninja Turtle used to be Donatello, but now it's definitely Michelangelo, and it's that's all because of you, Michelangelo. So thank you, shout out to you. Shout out to Favi Renko as well, who I got to run into up there.
Mr. Big Yikes.
Yeah, Mr. Big Yikes. I mean, he was Mr. Big Lifesaver who gave me a ride to the hotel at the end of the night. So shout out to him. Of course, if you guys haven't seen his latest offering of footwork, go ahead and check it out. It's super clean. Shout out to his photographer Dario as well for putting that together. Now, let's talk about this demolition, this beatdown, what would you call this in the street, Ananda? Like, what happened?
A mauling? I mean, I don't know, like a complete utter
mauling. There's no G's out there like beating some fool and be like, I just gave him a mauling. Come on now.
It's
like it's gotta.
That's in my dictionary. No, it's just a straight beatdown. It's just straight. He just got pulled up on.
Heck, I can't repeat what you put in the chat. But yes, it was. It was.
And I'm not going to put it on the chat.
yeah. It was an absolute beatdown. Game was over by the second minute of the second half, and it was generally how we love to see this team play. For those of you, yeah. I mean, shout out King Darwin. We whooped him. So for those of you not in the know, And if you're a G, I don't know how you don't know this already, but the Galaxy were playing their first road match of the season, and they defeated their northern rival, the San Jose Earthquakes, 3-1 at PayPal Park on Saturday night. Dejan Joveljic and Joseph Paintsil both had a goal and an assist. Ricky Puig, he scored his first goal of the season, and big Marky Delgado, who almost didn't play in this match. He had 2 assists on the night. Of course, the big story here is that Joseph Paintsil, he scored his first goal for the team. He had his first assist for the team. He just generally looked dangerous and nasty on him all game. He scored his first goal for the team in the 18th minute. Wonderful give and go with Mark Delgado, and he just has too much time on his left foot, and he curls it around the keeper and the defense, and he gets his first one. For the Galaxy's second, more Joseph Paintsil. I mean, he gets a good ball from Mark Delgado again to get into space on the right channel. He squares for Dejan, and Dejan does really, really well to lift this over the keeper and get this into the net. I think last year's Dejan, shoots low, shoots right into the keeper, but he has the presence of mind to lift this over and get his second goal in 2 games for the Galaxy. And like I said, this one was over just a couple moments after halftime, after Diego Fagundes. This one starts with Mickey Yamane, who plays Diego Fagundes into the right channel. Fagundes plays Dejan to the byline, and Dejan pulls it back for Ricky Puig. Ricky Puig goes and just easy slam dunk at that point for Ricky Puig. He's not going to miss that. And Galaxy are up 3-0. It was beautiful to see them. It's like celebrating together like they've been friends since they were kids. And also I had a good chuckle because in Ricky's celebration, he kind of ate it. He just fell all over himself right there for the moment. But I love seeing the exuberance of these cats just, playing with that kind of passion and free-flowing soccer and getting their just desserts with that 3-0. And of course, what we said would happen actually happened. Preston Judd scored for the San Jose Earthquakes to pull one back for them. We did call it. We did say that was going to happen, and it did. In the 69th minute, the Galaxy don't deal well with a corner kick. For me, and I saw, people like a friend of the show, Mike Gray, agree. McCarthy does a little poorly to punch this one away when he could have caught. Anyway, he punches the ball away. The Earthquakes are able to recycle, and they get a loose ball in front of goal, and Preston pokes home. He did not celebrate though, Nanda.
I saw. I had to watch it because I was like, did he really celebrate? I had to go back to the VAR monitors on that one. But yeah, you're right. He just kind of got the ball. He pointed up to somewhere. I don't know where he pointed exactly. And then he was like, come on. We got to get back to this game, which was game was long gone by then.
Yeah.
But, hey, credit to the man. He did what he said he would.
Yeah. I mean, he said that he was going to war. He got his goal against them. It's consolation goal. The Galaxy run away with this one 3-1. I mean, for me, they take their foot off the gas a little bit in the second half, but it marked the 99th El Clasico across all competitions, and it was one to remember for the Galaxy. They now lead the all-time series 47-33-19. They're unbeaten in their last 5 matches against the Earthquakes on the road and in general. Diego Fagundes, he scored his 72nd career assist. I believe Diego said he wanted 7-7 this year. I mean, put one up for him right now. He has an assist. And so that was his 360th regular season appearance in MLS. It was Edwin Cedillo's 100th career MLS regular season appearance. So, I mean, the youthful lad was great yesterday again. He did his job. He did his role. He won the defending the badge in week 1. It was not to be a repeat for him, but I mean, he that's the thing right now is that like he played a tremendous match. I mean, he could be in the conversation, but there's others that played, just lights out. But again, that's a good problem to have. It's so many players are performing well. Jalapeno, he says it was 3-1. There was not really a reason to score. If it was 2-1, for sure, we'd be celebrating more, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I think at that point, they're seeing the point. They're seeing the game out, right? Game management. The gaffer Ananda of Lacuna Matata says, now we see the game out, and now we manage the match, right? So I think they were
That's right.
in match management mode. But they. I think they could have easily gotten a couple more goals. I mean, the San Jose was on the ropes, and it's like they say in Mortal Kombat, finish him. So anyway, before we talk lineups, Ananda, I want to shout out Will Kuntz.
Yep.
I walked by him in one of my sojourns from the press box to the stairs. You've never been to the San Jose PayPal Park away section, but it's a steep set of stairs. And so I did that a couple times. The Cavs are on a little bit of fire right now. But this man, Will Kuntz, I walked by him and I was like, Will Kuntz, wow, he's here. And so I got to say hello to him and shake his hand and stuff like that. And this was when he was on his way there. And it was great, man, because I just don't see this under the previous administration at all.
Yeah.
I also saw Jovan Krosky. Jovan Krosky was there as well. He was hooded up though, so I think he was incognito. So I'm not sure if any other G's saw him there, but Jovan was there. Did see him. He was with his family, so they could have been just like having a night out as a family. But shout out Will Kuntz. I think he's being called Will. He does miracles on me, Kuntz. So he's graduated from the chef to the miracle worker. Will, he does miracles on me, Kuntz. He climbed these steep steps of PayPal Park to show the supporters love. And again, can you imagine any world in which Chris Klein does this? Nah.
Nope. Absolutely not.
No.
Not even a multiverse, man. No way. Yeah, dude, Robbie, I don't know if you caught it, but next time, I think Samoa Bob posted something, and then someone posted like a video of that song with like clipped up. Oh man, that's got to be a chant, bro. I think that's got to be a chant at some point. It's beautiful.
There's so many things that I'm just like, oh, that's that. Again, this optimism just breeds like all this fun stuff, like Will Chance, like Will Kuntz chance and all this kind of stuff. Heck, who are we talking about here? Are we talking about Dayon?
I think he's talking about Dayon, but if you're talking about Dayon, hold that thought. We will talk about Dayon.
Yeah, we will talk about Dayon. Yeah, no, I mean, because
I'll come back to that.
Because we have a comment from King Darwin just above that about Delgado. So yeah, just trying to see if he means Delgado or Dayon. Delgado, no, I don't think he gets 10 or 15 goals. Dayon, we will get to for sure. So the Galaxy came out in the second match of the season, and they put out a unchanged lineup, which is nice to see as well. The stability and the consistency, no injuries, knock on wood so far. And that means they get to put out the same back four that they had in the first match. McCarthy starts again. Cerrillo retains his place for Gaston Brugman, who's working his way back to fitness and generally again looked wonderful. And Fagundes retains his spot, even though Gabriel Peck has spent a little bit more time with the team though. Fagundes is going to be hard to drop right now, guys. I mean, he's playing well. I for one am really, really happy to see that the lineup didn't change, especially after the good performance that they put in. What about you, Ananda? What do you think about this one?
I told you last time, man, I didn't think he was going to change the lineup, and he didn't. And I'm glad he didn't. Like I said, Fagundes has, from the preseason and all the work he put in, man, the thing that I'm going to say this now in case I forget later, but his work rate was unmatched this game. A key feature of, especially on that side where Espinoza was on, I told you that Aude was going to have a handful. I thought that Fagundes did an amazing job helping out his teammate, tracking back, being in position. He wasn't as effective. Yeah, he wasn't as effective offensive. There's a couple of places where he just didn't have the speed or he just couldn't get there. But the work rate defensively, again, each game is going to call for a different thing. In this particular game, I'm pretty sure Greg Vanny's instructions to him was make sure you double up on that side on Espinoza. Don't let him get his crosses off, because that is the one dangerous thing, right? And guess what, Robert? The goal, Preston Judd's goal, came from what? An Espinoza cross, right? So we know that's their sort of like,
and a set
that's
piece.
The bullet. Yeah. Well, was it on a set piece? I think it was off of deflection, and then it came back out, and then Espinoza
it was on a recycled set piece. It was off a corner kick.
It was off a broken play. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm still counting that as a set piece, personally.
Yeah. But again, we know that their dangerous opportunities were from Espinoza. We knew that coming into the game. So big shout out to Fagundes, man. Really, really nice work rate. And I agree with you. I don't think he loses his place in the starting spot.
Edward says, "Is this Fagundes' job to lose?" I think so. I mean, I think no matter how well Peck is playing and training or showing in training, I think you go with your hot hand, the player that's producing. That's a good problem to have. That's a luxury. That's a, hey, we have two players that one of them is tired, we can bring the other one on, and there's no drop off in quality, and even gives you like a different dimension of the game to throw at the defense, so they're caught off their heels. So yeah, I think it's Fagundes' job to lose right now. Of course, it's a long season.
I mean, Rob, what did we say in the beginning of the season? Competition for places. This is what we want, right?
Absolutely,
because if there's no competition for places, there's complacency, and we've seen what complacency looks like, especially in the 2023 version of the Galaxy. So
Right.
I'm not complaining, man. This is a great problem to have, and I'd rather have these debates than when are the supporters coming back. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy what a year makes, right?
Well, Papa, el año pasado, mira, estábamos así en varios puntos de la temporada. Like, puchicas, ahora a quién ponemos? Like, who do we play in that position? Like, who? Like, there was a point last year where there were no wingers. There was a point last year where there were no center backs. I mean, Mark got hurt at a point. Gaston, of course, season-ending injury. I mean, again, knock on wood. I mean, none of this is going to happen again, but that's what it was like last year, and now it's like, okay, well, we're bringing off Fagundes and we're bringing on record signing Gabriel Peck, who is by all intents and purposes, from everything we've seen, a good player, and as soon as he's like fully integrated into the team, he's going to be even more dangerous. Well, a little bit of team news for you guys after this one, for this one. Gaston Bruggeman, we did mention him earlier, and how Cedillo started over Gaston. Well, Gaston's working himself back to fitness from last year's season-ending injury. He made his debut for 2024 in this match against San Jose. He came on in the second half, and Johnny Perez also made his debut in this one. If you guys know me at all, you guys know that I love me a Johnny Perez, the pride of Pico. So you know what? He looked really good too. I mean, I mean, for a younger player, it must be frustrating. Like, okay, I'm not getting the minutes that I want. But again, you have players ahead of you like Paintsil, Peck, Fagundes, who are, just doing the business. Heck says he was talking about JP. Yeah, we'll get there as well.
Yeah, I'll give you my quick answer though. If he gets 10 goals, man, I'm happy, because Tyler Boyd got 7 goals last year. So if he can match or beat Tyler's production, sign me up.
No, I'm not satisfied with just matching Tyler. I mean, he's the financial outlay is significantly more. So I mean, yes, I would expect, and he has a quality to get those 15 goals that Hector's talking about. I mean, he was definitely on pace to do that for Genk. And so yeah, I mean, I think he'll get it. And if he ends up with 15 and 10, or like 15 and like not even maybe double digits, or like 15 and 7, 15 and 8, like the 2-month negotiations of wondering would he come, definitely worth it at that point.
Yeah.
So
he should get double digits though. But yeah, I mean, that's a bare minimum. That's a bare minimum requirement.
Yeah, no, but I think he'll get it, and I think again, we'll get to a day on, but I mean, he's on pace too, so that's all we'll say right now. But some more team news to finish that one up. Jalen Neal still a few weeks away from being ready to go, and then he needs to get match fit, of course. But again, that gives you one more option off the bench, and then I think that eventually he'll go ahead and take over the starting spot, because you have 2 mature center backs, but those mature center backs are looking good. Last bit of team news: Gabriel Peck most likely will not be available. Well, according to Greg, and I was looking at him directly when he told me this. He said that he won't be available against Nashville. So it's not really like he won't be available against Nashville. Greg said that he had a family matter to attend to. I believe they said on the Spanish telecast of the game that he's getting married. So the rumor is that Gabriel Peck is getting married. If it is to be that he's getting married, happy nuptials to you. Blessings to the new family. Gabriel Peck, from what we see on his Instagram, is a nice Christian lad. So I'm sure there's going to be a nice little ceremony, and it's going to be a beautiful day for the new family. So shout out to Gabriel Peck and his new bride to be. So Ananda, now things we noticed about this match, man. There was a couple things that I noticed, but I feel like I've been talking a lot, and I'm getting tired of hearing my own voice. So I'm pretty sure you are, and the Lacuna Galaxians are. So hit us up with yours first one.
Well, actually, no. I was gonna kind of ask you because I was not at the stadium, unfortunately, right? And you had the privilege of being there. And I wanted to talk about this because you sent this to me, and I was like, you know what? Like, I want to hear this story because this is again, I keep saying what a difference a year makes, right? And so if I look at this picture, man, like this is a picture that you sent me that was, picture of the crowd there with, I mean, you see all those flags flying.
I didn't take this one, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I
so
think
so credit. Yeah, I know you sent it to
this
me.
was
I
an
didn't.
LA. Yeah, this was an LA Galaxy picture.
Got it.
Photo credit LA Galaxy.
Got it. Yeah. But I mean, what a difference a year makes, right? Like a year ago, the fans were not in the stadium. The SGs were obviously, not in the stadium as well. But look at this, man. This is a beautiful sight. Like, this is again, this is a huge thing and I think not only for this team, but just for the entire fan base in general, right? It's just everyone now seems like, even by the way, even I saw some discourse around, Vanny doubters, right? Like people are starting to kind of see like what this team is starting to be made of. And the fact that everyone now is singing from the same hymn sheet. Thank you, Will Kuntz, for giving us that confidence and optimism. It's a great sight to see, man. Great sight to see.
Well, I told Ananda the supporter groups in harmony, right? And I don't think he knows what I even mean by that, but I'm going to tell him a little anecdote on the day really quick. Edward says, who do you guys think Neil will replace? I think he will eventually replace Martin Cáceres. Martin is coming back from that season and injuring himself. He's 36 or 37. The season is long. There's a lot of fixtures happening, especially in the middle part of the season. So yeah, I think he's going to initially alternate with Cáceres for that starting spot, and then eventually, kind of take over that spot. But Ananda, what I mean by supporter groups in harmony is that lamentably there are moments when you bicker with your family, right? And this is the way, like, I was thinking about this today, right? Even if you're not in the same supporter group, they're your primo, or they're your brother or sister, because we're all in one family, which is the Galaxy family, right? Unfortunately, sometimes we bicker with our family, and we saw that a couple times last year, and the conditions were right for it, because there was a lot of stuff going on. Like you said, what a difference a year makes. It was beautiful, it was gratifying, it was calming to see all these different people from different supporter groups being in the same place, being in the pre-match meetup, and the just amount of love everyone was showing each other, just the amount of, like, we don't care about anything else but being here for the Galaxy. It was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, shout out to all the Peresis that were there. I mean, Smo Bob was there, Glory was there, Manny was there, so I mean, everybody was together behind the Galaxy, and I felt this harmony that I hadn't felt in years around just like the unified support of the Galaxy. And I think that Jesus, Lord Buddha, whoever you believe in, blessed the Galaxy with feeling that harmony, and it translated to the field. I honestly truly believe this, because I mean, just the way everyone came together was amazing. If you were there, I mean, you must have felt it too. I mean, it was a good size of a good amount of people there. I mean, it was at least 2 buses and a bunch of people that drove themselves, so that's 2 full buses. Yeah, I mean, King Darlington is turning a new page as a whole, from the FO to the fans, and that's the way it should be, because we got to remember who are you guys there for? Who am I there to write about? It's the LA Galaxy, not. I mean, as Greg said at one point, the noise, like, that's what the noise is. Like, when we get distracted from the reason that we're there, and the reason that we're there is the LA Galaxy. So a shout out to everybody that was there.
And man, long may it continue, because these players feed off of it, right? Whether they want to admit it or not, last year, whether they said it didn't affect them, it did. We know it did. I mean, we're all humans and we all feed off of energy, right? Especially if you play a sport like soccer, where the atmosphere, that 12th man is huge, right? So
Right.
long may it continue. I think the players are feeding off of it. Not only are we getting a bump in quality, but we're getting a bump in energy from our own fans. And I think that's a beautiful sight to see.
Yeah, it was great, and you could feel that energy as well, like when everybody was cheering together. Uh, Again, you looked and sounded great. Traveling support. Edward says he's never been to an away game. He would like to. I would recommend that Austin trip. That Austin
Yeah,
trip is
we'll be there,
going
Edward.
to.
If you want to come out, man, we'll be on that trip. We're planning that out. So definitely try to
Yeah.
make it.
Well, the first Austin trip I went to, Ananda, I wrote a story about this one, and there was about, I did an unofficial head count, and I kind of checked with Galaxy comms as well, and we came up with this number just a little shy of 500 people, right? And that's a massive amount of support to take to San Jose, much less Austin, right? So, Edward, I would highly recommend that Austin match. I've been to Austin now for 3 times, and each time is incredible, and it's fun, and Austin's a great city to visit. Everyone's really friendly there as well. Stadium eats are great, so that's definitely a good one to visit. If not Nashville, their eats are great in the stadium as well, so go ahead and check them out. So Ananda, another thing I noticed was that the Galaxy were finally clinical and executed in front of goal. I know you're our stats guy here. Is there anything that you notice in particular?
I mean, just simply put, we are just finishing in front of goal, and I think it's both a quality thing and a confidence thing, right? I'm gonna pull up these stats, Robert, because I'm a stats guy, so we always got to pull this up, right?
Yes, you are.
It's interesting, right? So if you look at our total shots versus, so the Galaxies are, by the way, this is per FOT mob. We are in yellow and San Jose's in blue. San Jose had double the quality of shot, or sorry, the number of shots than we did, Robert, but we had the better quality of chances. Look at that. All 6
Yes,
shots on target, right?
exactly.
Same number of big chances. And the fact is, I can't even remember if you can remember the big chance that we missed, let me know. I can't remember,
Yeah,
but it felt like we buried a lot of our chances.
they were
Go
dangerous
for it.
early. Like I think in the first 10 to 15 minutes, actually about, so because Joseph scored his goal in the 18th minute. So the first 10 or 15 minutes, I don't know if you remember, but McCarthy had that real big save. Yoshida misplays in the back, and McCarthy, Cáceres, and Yamane bail him out. So they had a,
Yep.
Grueso also has a shot that goes just wide on the right. So for the first 10 or 15 minutes, they had their moments, but then after that, it was pretty much all Galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy too, right? Because if you think about it, last year we were missing multiple big chances. We actually created a few chances in a few games, but I remember looking at the stats a lot last year and saying, man, there was like 2 missed chances, 3 missed chances, 4 missed big chances. And we lived to rue those, unfortunately. And at that time, our
Right.
defense was not solid, right? So it was one of those things where if we're not clinical, we have no chance in this game. This game, I'm going to say this a lot this year, Robert, but I cannot remember the last time the Galaxy were this clinical. Like, I really can't. Like, maybe the 4-3 when Billy Sharp just felt like he was just banging in everything that he was lacing it through, right? So this is a great sight to see. Remember, Robert, if we can keep this up, because in the last game versus Miami, we had 5 big chances, but we missed 4 of them, and that was the penalty. So, as I mentioned, I want to bring this point up that I mentioned last time, which is we are a playoff team. Now, for us to be an elite playoff team, we've got to be clinical. We've got to finish our chances, because look at what happens when we finish our chances, man. We put these teams away. We put these games to bed early. And yeah, I you know what? I'm just smiling right now because I can't believe that we're saying, like, we just got to finish these chances, and we're gonna put these teams away. Every single team that we play against away, right? It's night and day, bro. It's night and day.
And it's great seeing everyone smiling about it. I mean, I know somewhere Sasha's really pissed off right now that it went down. But you know what? It is what it is. Galaxy fans are happy and Sasha's not. Oh well. So like you said, they were, just creating great chances. They took 6 chances, all 6 shots, all on goal. Half of them went in for their 3 goals. The Galaxy had an XG of 1.69, while San Jose had a .77. And this is one of the ones that stuck out to me. I mean, the Galaxy are always a good passing team, and they seemed to face a little bit of pressure, especially in the first half on the ball, and they still maintained an 88.2% pass accuracy. So I mean that just, again, this midfield is going to do that for you, and if you, they're going to get you chances, and just like they did last year. Problem was that last year they weren't finishing. This year they are. So no, we see that no other place than the current goal scorers. I mean, Joseph Paintsil was he was named man of the match, but that remains to be seen if he wins defending the badge. We'll let you guys vote on that one. But for me in this game, he justified his price tag. I mean, we're seeing what he's going to become, and he's going to be so, like, if we're seeing this out of him right now, I can imagine 2 or 3 months from now, when he knows his teammates, he knows their tendencies, he knows how they're going to play, and right now he's a killer. Jesus, I can't even wait to see what he's bringing in 2 or 3 months, man. So in this one, of course, go ahead, Nana.
No, I was gonna say, Rob, I know you asked him a question about that, the whole killer thing. I thought that was, man, that was cold, man. Like just his response, right? I know. I actually have it pulled up. You want to pull it up for the and listen to what he had to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's roll the tape.
For me, that's the number one thing. Even in training, I always want to win my games. And on the field of play, even if things does not go on well, we always try to solve things as a team because we have a good group, a young group also. As you can see, we dominated a lot and we keep the ball a lot in the game. And it's really a good thing. As you can see, the players are also really hungry for success, as you can see. So we did everything together, and if we keep playing like this, like I said also the last game, we are really going to kill a lot of clubs, trust me.
Love that.
JP the killer. Yeah, man. I mean, I love that mentality. I love a lot of the mentalities going through Galaxy Landia right now, but this mentality of, look, let's get these teams and kill them early. Like, let's show them who we are and show them who we are early. Let's impose ourselves. I love it. I mean, Joseph's saying all the right things. I mean, not only does he make amazing music, but he's saying all the right things. By the way, I got to show Edwin and Astrid Joseph's music, and they loved it. So, and I got to tell him after I spoke to him in the presser, I was like, "Hey, Joseph, we listened to your music on the way up here. We really like it." He's like, "Oh, you liked it?" I was like, "Yes, absolutely." Like, it's really, really fun. So he was happy. He got a good smile out of that one. So yeah, man. So much of this attack flowed through Joseph Paintsil on the right-hand side. Of course, if you saw that Miami game, you saw that he's able to go to the left-hand side as well. In this one, all his damage was on the right-hand side. He linked up with Mark to devastating effect, and yeah, man, they just could not deal with their movement, basically. So Joseph, undoubtedly one of the defending the badge nominees. Again, absolutely. We'll let you go. We'll go ahead and reveal the other nominees here in a moment. If you've already voted on X, you guys already know who they are. Special shout out to, again, the defense, who did their work, for being much maligned, by myself included, who has been talking nonstop of last year's 67 goals, and they only brought in John Nelson and Mickey Yamane. Like, I mean, it's only been 2 matches, but if it continues, I will be more than happy to eat my words. This is one of those ones I'm like, God, I hope I'm wrong. So yes, so far so good for the defense. They faced 12 shots, but only 3 were on goal. They faced 10 corners, 12 clearances. This is a small sample size, but they are allowing just 0.73 xG per shot. As per Opta, and last year that number was closer to 0.104, so almost a goal a shot, or more than a goal a shot. So the defense did their thing. Ananda, what do you think the difference might be this year to last year?
I want to pick up on something that Vanny said that was really interesting in preseason, Robert, which is he talked about this concept of team defense, right? And so, yes, if you look at individually, Yamane, John Nelson, J Mac. Let's not forget about J Mac. Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Maybe they don't improve like the ceiling of this team or even the floor of this team in quality wise. But if you group them with, your midfield that's coming back, your Serrios, who's taking a step up this year, your Fagundez's, who is tracking back on the wing position, even JP as well, even Joveljic, even Ricky is playing a little defense now, right? So
Yes.
I think the biggest difference this year, Robert, is this concept of team defense and everyone knowing their roles. And this is, it's not leaving the back four exposed. It's being locked in transition moments, whether that's on the offensive end and the defensive end, knowing where to be positionally to stay balanced and not get caught on the counterattack. I mean, yes, there were stretches in this game where we were open, and I think Greg talked about it a little bit in his press conference, which is there were stretches of the game where it was a little open, but we had the right balance. We snuffed out, chances and snuffed out danger. And credit to the two center backs, man. I said coming into this game, their aerial presence in the box, cleaning up the trash, as I mentioned last time. I think that was going to be a really important component of this game. And you look at plays like Cáceres, bailing out Yoshida on that
Right.
Christian Espinoza chance as a prime example of that. So yeah, man, I think it's this concept of team defense that I'm really loving, and that's not only the back four, that's the midfielders, that's your DM protecting the back four, and then that's your wingers like Fagundez, who's tracking back and putting in an absolute shift for this team. So I think to answer your question, man, that's been the real key this year is this concept of team defense. And as I said, long may it continue. I think we're going to have to put those shifts out consistently throughout the season. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to for us to finally get that first clean sheet. I hope we get that clean sheet soon. Maybe not in Nashville because they are a tough team, but hopefully soon thereafter.
Yeah, they certainly did their job, and if they play like they're playing, they'll continue to keep getting the results. I mean, last year there were moments where the Galaxy were scoring the goals, especially towards the end of the year, but they were letting up a lot of goals as well. So if they're giving themselves a chance to win, then obviously they're going to pick up some points. And like you mentioned a couple pods back, they were 2 victories away from being in the playoffs.
Yes.
So if they win those 2 matches, or they don't let in that last minute goal, then they pick up another win. One more win after that is playoff time, and but again, everything happens for a reason. Who knows? We make the playoffs last year, and there's reason to believe there's not that much to change, and not that much change happens. As we see, a lot of change is breeding success so far for the Galaxy. But I want to point out one specific moment in this match, which was the moment of the match for me. But before I do you have a moment of the match?
I do. I actually just talked about it a second ago. I think it was Cáceres, man. That Cáceres challenge. We were up 1-0 at that point, Robert. I believe it was 1-0, if I'm not mistaken. And as soon as Yoshida took that touch, I'm like, oh boy, this is spelling trouble. I could see flashbacks of this happening exactly last year, especially towards that like 5-game stretch where we didn't really win a game. I think the last game was that 4-3, that Billy Sharp hat trick. And yeah, man, I just saw flashes of last year, and again, I'm like, no, we're gonna let them back into this game. But Cáceres came out of nowhere, helped his teammate, and we got lucky and we survived another day. And then we scored, a goal not I think a few moments after that. So I thought that was a real turning point of the game. But I know you had one in mind, and I don't disagree with you on this one because I know we talked about it, coming into this match.
Yeah, well, Christian Miles, C. Miles, brought this one up. He was mentioning that for San Jose's goal, it looks like Peck loses his man, and it leads to the goal. And Yamane was you could see it in the video when you watch this back. I know some of you guys have been watching these highlights a couple different times today, and definitely I've seen it a couple times today. So when you watch this one back, notice Yamane right after the goal. He is livid, and he is basically just. To be honest, I don't even know if they understood him, but he's yelling at Gabriel Peck for Gabriel Peck, standing off his man and giving too much space and stuff like that. And this is the mentality that this team needs. The team needs to care about these things. Team's up 3-0 at this point. It's a 68th minute. You're heading towards a famous Cali Clasico win, and you lose the clean sheet. And this man loses it. Like, they lost the game in the 94th minute like they did against Miami, and well, not lost, but they lost the clean sheet and they lost the 3 points. But this is the attitude that these players need to have, that when they get a goal against, it's not just, oh well, we're up 3-0. No, it is a calamity, because you have the track record of letting in so many goals. So this is what a successful culture starts with, is players like this who are going to call out the defensive failings or failings in general. Like, no, we need to be better. So shout out to Mickey Yamane. I mean, that almost earned him the defending the badge from me, just all by itself. Honorary defending the badge is the supporters. The other honorary defending the badge is Astrid and Edwin. I know Heck and Leo had a nice exchange right here in the chat. He was saying that Leo was saying that Audi looks better, and I don't know if I should say fiance Leo, because again, congratulations to you guys for the upcoming nuptials. But he was asking about if Audi had gotten better, and Heck said that it's because he has Fagundes backing him up now. That leads
exactly
us. It proves your point. This team is playing that team defense, and they're taking care of each other, like they should. Cover for me and I'll cover for you, bro. Like, that's the way it should be.
And this is it right here. This is the word, Robert. Accountability. I mentioned it too when I retweeted C Miles's tweet. It's accountability, and it's that I'm going to use that word again, killer. It's a killer mentality, and this is what we've been like asking for, pleading for, craving for as Galaxy fans, and now we're seeing it. Right, we're finally seeing it.
Alguien da la cara, really por favor, danos la cara. They're stepping up, and you know what, they're playing for each other, and it's great. And you know what, darn it, I'll say it, they're playing for the shirt, and I love it. Vanny loves it too.
Speaking of playing for the shirt, but I know Vanny loves it too, and
well, he really quickly had to say, I asked him if this one ranks in like the best Galaxy wins for him, and he said it was really hard to answer, but he said what's nice is we came off a good performance last week at home against a good team in Miami, then we backed it up again with a good performance tonight, a good road performance. So what I take away from this is just the consistency that we have been able to put together in a very short amount of time with the season, a home game and then having a road game and playing at a consistent level, showing a consistent threat on the attacking side, and boy, did they show that threat. And yes, like Ananda said, it is now time to get to who your defending the badge winner is. Now, we have a couple of nominees here. We have Dayon, of course, he had a goal and an assist in this one. We have Ricky scoring his first goal of the year. We have JP, of course, we already spoke about him. And we have Marky. Let's go ahead and go through the qualifications really quick on this one to see if, we can go ahead and sway anybody. But Dayon, he loves scoring against the Earthquake. So, in 7 career regular season matches, which are 4 starts against San Jose, he's tallied 5 goals and 1 assist. Some more Dayon stats. He's been, this year 2-2. He's doing what everyone wanted him to do, to produce. So he's doing that. In 5 regular season matches, dating back to October 7th, 2023, he has 4 goals and 2 assists. During that stretch, he's recorded 1.52 goals and assists per 90 minutes for the Galaxy. Of course, yesterday he had that goal and the assist, and more importantly, like I said, he linked up with the Ricky and they celebrated together, and they just were laughing. And this is what you want to see these players be happy. If they're happy, they're going to play well. So Ricky did get that goal and was celebrating with Dayon. He kind of ate it in the celebration, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. You're going to celebrate your first goal. You can fall. You can do whatever. He completed 97 of 115 passes, 84.3 for 84.3%, and he made a game high 128 touches. Everyone knows that the ball goes through Ricky a lot. Now it's starting to go through this next guy, Joseph Paintsil, quite a bit. Greg at one point said about Joseph Paintsil, what he brings to the team. Well, he gives us a whole new threat or danger that we haven't seen or had. I mean, the guy can get in behind, the guy can create, the guy can take people on, and what a peach of a left foot. So Greg is obviously loving him. He becomes the 4th player in club history to record a goal and an assist in the Cali Clasico. He's the first since Steven Gerrard in 2015. So back in 2015, Gerrard pulled off a similar feat. You know, and so second game for Joseph Paintsil, he's already a history maker. And yeah, like we said, we did play you guys that clip about you know, Joseph being a killer. He's going to continue to kill him. Man, I mean, everyone seems to think, you know, he should just get it automatically, but who has a big argument for it? Mark Delgado. I mean, again, remember, he wasn't even supposed to be available for this match, but he finished this one with 2 assists. He has 45 of 49 completed passes for 91.8. He had 7 of 9 duels won and 4 possessions won, and was tied for a team high 3 interceptions. So those are your defending the badge winner nominees. Ananda, do you have a preference?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I feel like I read a comment somewhere. These are all going to be tough ones. I think when we posted the poll, and man, like, you know, there's so many good performances, right? Like you rattled out 4 really good names. Of course, we had a lot of honorary mentionees as well. You even mentioned Yamane, right, for doing what he did, and that's like proof. I probably should have given it to him just for that comment alone, like you said. But man, you know what? This might be a surprise to you, Robert, but I'm going to give actually this one to Mark Delgado, man. You know, he's a guy coming into the season, Rob, that I think you and I have had some offline conversations about him as well. We have kind of doubted him a little bit. We think that, you know, maybe he's, you know, obviously he's like 27, 28, so still in a decent age, but with the arrival of Cerrillo, or sort of the you know, the prominence, the rise to prominence of this kid, we were questioning a little bit Mark Delgado's role coming into this team. But man, these last 2 games have completely changed my mind about this guy. This guy, I forgot the exact words that you mentioned to me, Robert, but Greg Vanny said that basically he's, you know, he's such an important cog to this LA Galaxy wheel. He's sort of the unsung hero. He's the guy that's not going to get the metronome. Yeah, he's exactly, that was the word to use. He's a guy that's not going to get a lot of praise or sort of attention, but he does so much for this team, man. I mean, you rattled off the stats there, you know, 92% pass completion, but I looked at the positions that he took up in the pitch, and bro, I got to look at his heat map because he was everywhere. He was playing right back at times.
Exactly.
He was playing right wing. Again, when he was playing right wing, he gave that like nice little cheeky assist, that little reverse pass back to Paintsil for that goal. When you asked him to push up, he did. When you asked him to drop back and make a tackle, he did. He's a Swiss Army knife. He just does everything that's needed for this team. And when we think about defending the badge, man, it's about that humility to, you know, play any role and sort of adjust to what the game demands, and sort of just being that guy, that lunch pail guy, right? Every team needs that. And to me, that's Mark Delgado on this team. And for that, I gave him defending the badge. Like I said, I kind of doubted him a little bit coming into the season, but he's made me eat crow. So that's what I'm going to give it to, is Mark Delgado, man.
Yeah, I really wanted to give it to him. I really want to give it to him, but I gotta give it to Mr. Unbreakable, man. I gotta give it to JP.
Not a bad shout.
I mean, especially because he filled us in that his mom and his sister told him that he was going to score, and then he did. So anytime, you know, like he shouts out to his mom or sister, you know, again, we're all about family on this pod. So he shouted out his family, and so that's gonna put me over the edge for him, especially because he scored a goal and assist. So I mean, Leo says, you guys said it yourself, this is what we want. Difficulty deciding who wins the defending of the badge. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. That's what I want. I want to get here and agonize over this decision every week, and I could have given it to Mark very easily. You know, Ananda said he was everywhere. He was in the back line. He was supplying. He was on the wing. I mean, very easily could have won it. Dayon very easily could have won it. I mean, but my guy's JP. But let us know what you guys think. There is that poll right now that we have going on. So go ahead and make sure and vote. We have a couple people right now in the chat that you know, we're big upping JP. They were big upping you know, Fagundes earlier. So they're all really good options.
Yep, exactly. And you know, Robert, I think back to the episode we did with Judge Sophie. Shout out Judge Sophie, wherever you are. If you're listening to this or seeing this, hopefully we'll get you back on soon. I remember, man, we had these debates about, like, you know, I think we were talking about it in the context of Jalen Neal's story at that time in the season. And you and I were just complaining to ourselves, like, we're having debates about boycotts and fans not being there and this team lacking, identity and all this stuff. Now we're debating about, and you even said, like, I want to write stories about, who is that defending the badge, who is the most exciting player this year, who is going to be the up and comer, the sort of the breakout player of this year. These are debates we need to have. And this is you talking last season, and a year from now we're at this point, Robert. So that makes me happy, man. We've come full circle, and I'm glad we're having these debates.
Yeah, no, definitely. So where do we stand, Ananda? After 2 games, the Galaxy is second place in the West behind Portland on goal difference. They are, obviously
Second
only
place.
2 games in, but yeah, second place. It feels good to say, right? I mean, like,
Hell
obviously, the Galaxy aren't where they want to be, which is in first place and competing for MLS Cup. But you know what? It starts with those steps, right? I think there was a movie one time with Jennifer Aniston where she came up with like a jingle which was like second place and that ain't bad, right? So right now it's okay. So the Galaxy are behind Portland on goal difference because they have given up 1 more goal. So the Galaxy are just right there in the hunt, and so that led the homie Edwin to question me today. On the drive back, is this the year the Galaxy make the playoffs ahead of decision day? Are they going to be on decision day wondering what they need to do or need to get some help to make the playoffs? And I think if they obviously play up to their potential, which we're seeing right now, yeah, they should have this one sewed up 4 or 5 match days before, and they're just playing for playoff position at that point.
Robert, I have the perfect answer for you. Ask me in a month.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you heard, but I amended that. Ask me in a month and a half.
A month and a half. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Right. And Greg did bring up a good point in the presser, and he said that Galaxy do have 8 road games in the first 13 matches, and against good teams, St. Louis, against
Nashville next.
Nashville next, and that's on the road. And then they have more emotionally charged matches like the El Tráfico at BMO, which is in town, but it's not in your home. So it's yeah. Ask me in a month. Ask me after those 8 of. Ask me after those 13 games, right? Which is approximately 2 months. But I'll give you a month and a half. Ask me after a month and a half. Yeah, heck yes. Anything is better than 13th place for 6 months. God, Jesus. Well, I did mention last pod, Galaxy hadn't won since September. They broke it. They broke the duck. They have their first win since September. Galaxy fans rejoice. 3 points for the first time since September. And yeah, crazy. I mean, that's pretty much where the Galaxy are right now. Second place. They look good. You're getting production from where you need to get production. You're being able to bring on subs that are solid, that produce for you. Who is this team?
I know. Exactly. Where, Hammer was right. Hashtag Galaxy 2024, and now we're here. And yeah, man, long may this continue. I think it's going to be real interesting. Of course, we're going to do our preview pod, I believe, on Wednesday. Although, Robert, something that to keep in mind, I know we're just talking about this live, but Nashville do play Inter Miami in the what's that tournament called? The CONCACAF. Is that right?
Yeah,
on Thursday.
The CONCACAF version of the Champions League. Yeah, so
on Thursday at 6 p.m. Yeah.
We might throw you guys an audible and actually do this preview on Thursday to account for that. We'll go ahead and drop you guys a line and let you guys know. And that's another reason to subscribe, so and you're notified when we do this pod. Because sometimes we'll throw you an audible depending on what happens. Sometimes there's press availability that I'm like, hey, I want to get there so I can get the latest information to give to you guys. So subscribe so you guys know when we're dropping the pod. Most of the time, yeah, it'll be on that Wednesday. But you know what? This week it might be a little bit different, just to go ahead and account for the latest news from that Nashville match. And yeah, that is the Galaxy's next match, the Nashville on Sunday at noon. So I know Hector was asking, is Nashville a nice place to go for an away game? It's a beautiful place to go away for an away game. Probably the nicest fans in MLS that I've ever encountered. You're literally walking around and they're like, hey, thanks for coming to visit us. And you're like, Oh man,
What?
you're in for a rude awakening when you come to Los Angeles, right? Not that anybody's mean, but it's definitely like not going out of your way to be like, hey, sorry to bother you. Thanks so much for coming through, and that's kind of what it's like, man. Again, the stadium meets there are great, but I think that kind of wraps us up for today, man. Do you have anything else to add before we get out of here?
No, just like Robert said, I want to echo what he said. Just, keep your notifications on, guys. Keep, subscribe to all of our socials so that, when we call these audibles, when we break news to you, you can find that out on all of our socials. But no, man, I can't wait to see what's in store for this team the rest of the season. I want to talk. Let's see if we find some time, because I want to go back to Sophie's point last year about this team having an identity. I think they're slowly getting one. I haven't put my finger on it, what exactly it is, but I think they're slowly getting one, Robert. And I can't wait to find that out as that story develops throughout the rest of this year.
Well, we'll touch on this one a little bit more too later, but a friend of the show, Mike Grease, Mike Gray, aka Miggy Grease, at one point last year asked us, will Greg have the tactical flexibility to change things if he needs to? And I think we've seen him doing that so far. I mean, against Miami, he was able to be tactical flexible and give up the ball and hit them on the break and transition how he calls. And we saw the Galaxy do that and then go ahead and absorb pressure and play in a low block as well, and then play with possession as well. So I mean, he's being tactically flexible at the moment. And you know what, my Gray, I mean, I think Greg is answering your question right there. So we said this was a La Cunita, so let's get on out of here. Guys, go ahead and check us out midweek on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll let you know for that preview pod of Nashville. For my co-host Ananda Kirana, yes, Ananda, you were gonna throw something else in there.
Well, one last thing. If you, like I said, I always got to plug it. If we are really, really close, guys, to 100 subscribers, I forgot to mention it earlier. Really, really close. So if you guys can help us out, get us to that 100 subscriber milestone, that would be amazing. And tell all your friends. What's that song? Taking Back Sunday? Tell all your friends, right? Tell all your friends. There you go.
What isn't it? To hell with you and all your friends. But
that too.
Exactly.
That too.
That's the opposite of what we want to say. We want to say, tell all your friends, not to hell with them. And tell them to come chill with us as well.
Maybe I got the wrong band. Anyways.
I mean, you know what? No one's perfect. San Jose certainly wasn't this weekend. And so with that one, we will leave you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this pod. Thank you for everyone that was in the chat. We love hearing what you guys think. We love hearing your guys' questions. And we definitely are enjoying the live version of the show ourselves. Let us know what you guys are liking. Let us know what you guys think we can add some more of in this pod. And until next time, thank you so much. For my co-host Ananda Kirana, I'm Rob Halon. We'll catch you next time. Jesus.